So, I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd make another vlog trying to be more consistent with these things. And my previous video talking about if you are afraid to use your gift, this is for you. It's been getting a lot of traction and doing exactly what I intended and I hoped it would do. So I'm so grateful that that video has been helping so many of you. And I hope even if you don't voice it, that it is. Because I genuinely share thoughts about things based upon compilation of experiences from I was young till now. I'm not the kind of person to really go online and throw off on people. If I have a grievance, I'll just tell you. I know that some people do that, especially with social media, can get very hairy, with how people deal with it and things. But I've been doing YouTube since like 2012, 2011. It's a long time now, and this is nothing new to me to voice thoughts and share words. You may not know, I used to do language teaching videos. I used to do all kind of things on YouTube. So I'm just glad that I'm able to be consistent with that and come from a good place. So I'm glad that that video has been helping. And I want to do a continuation of that, letting you know what to do now after you decided to finally take a step. You've gathered some courage, you've gathered some inspiration to realize I really have been sitting on myself. And I really can do something with my skills and my talents. And now that you've reached that point, you need some guidance still. Because, and I'm speaking, this is just something for me, even I've experienced and still continue to push myself. It's gonna sound like a line, but you really wanna slow your pace when you start moving. You don't wanna move too fast, because what I mean specifically is you'll oftentimes be eager to share. You'll oftentimes be eager to let people in on the things you wanna do or run your ideas by people. A lot of times I've met people that are like that, and I've been like that too in the past, where you really want someone to validate an idea you have, to have the confidence to really think if it's possible or if it's what you should or can do. You don't have the mentality. Getting wise counsel and getting counsel is not necessarily the same thing. And a lot of times you may think that the people in your life that you may be friends or family with are by default who you can get the validation from. But understand something, even with specifically music, people's preferences are not necessarily what define what is good and what can work. There are people, for example, that just don't like certain things musically, and they may tell you that don't sound right. But as a skilled musician singer myself, I would classify myself as that, even if I'm still have areas I need to work on. I can hear something from a objective standpoint, and I can tell if it's decent, at its core, but it may not be my preference. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of people are not like that. So they look at whether something is good or not based upon what they like. For example, there are individuals that only prefer old school music. And so they kind of have this sweeping indictment on all new school stuff as if they're all just bad. There's no good new music. I hear that all the time, especially growing up in church. I heard that all the time. Oh, there's nothing good now. There's nothing good to listen to. All I can listen to is like the old school stuff, because that's good. And it's ironic because at some point those songs were new school, right? And I agree with that sentiment that a lot of new music is really going down a worser path, but I still find really good music through all of it, because I actually have an ear to hear, oh, okay, I can distinguish good music and music that's not what I'm going to listen to. And I also know the distinction between music that I don't enjoy and music that's it's still good music. You see what I'm saying? So when an individual comes to me personally with like, hey, what do you think about this? I can give solid feedback, not tearing down what they like, but also giving them my perspective on from my taste. You know, so I'll say, I don't, for example, there are singers that I know that I don't particularly, it's not my style. It's not what I necessarily, it's not how I would approach singing, you know, or it's not how I would approach music. But they're talented. They're talented. I can objectively say that they're talented. It's just not what how I approach music, and vice versa. My mom always tells me too. She's like, I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you do that. But I liked it because it's a style of music that I like. But she just doesn't like it because she grew up with a preference, right? So making that distinction, I'm painting this picture for you to understand. You have to make that distinction so when you get excited about something that you're trying to do, understand who you're going to for advice and also protect yourself. Some individuals like to give a person a label of, oh, you're being so sensitive, or oh, you can't take criticism, if you just genuinely don't want people's feedback or input on your art or on your idea. I don't agree with that 100%. I do think that it's important to be solid enough to get criticism, and as harsh as it may be, when you need it and when it's appropriate. But I also think a balance is needed where you do have to protect your emotional state, because especially when you're new to really having the guts to try something, you have to protect that. That is very volatile. So, don't let anybody just come and tell you, I don't think you should do that, or try this instead, or you should do this. Especially with my music, I'm sure you can imagine I'm not just doing all of the things I'm doing with no sort of opposition and no sort of people trying to give me, ideas and feedback. And granted, I haven't had much of that because I think I've done a good job setting boundaries. But you have to really protect yourself in the early stages, because a lot of times, if you jump and just start pouring out to people, oh, I'm getting ready to do this, what do you think if I do this? Da, da, da. You're going to run into a lot of resistance, because like I said in my previous video, more people are not going to be there to support you versus people that will. You will always have more people trying to find flaws with your ideas and your ambitions than people that are going to say how they can help. It's oftentimes, for example, let's take fashion. More people will, and this goes for sisters and brothers, men and women, people will always seem to find the energy and time to criticize how you look, how you're dressing, how you did your hair, or whatever. But yet still, they won't take you shopping. They won't buy you no outfits. They're not going to buy you new shoes. They're not going to buy you a new hat. They're not going to buy you a new headscarf. If how you look is such a problem, and how you're dressing is so outdated, and your clothes are not as new as theirs, okay, we can fix it. Take them shopping. Because if you took me shopping, you're going to go broke. Because I know how to shop. I may not be able to afford the most nicest things or the most expensive things, but if you put, as they say, your money where your mouth is, then you're actually being effective. But I'm saying that to say most people are not going to do that. So they will always try to toss things at you and pull you down secretly, sometimes because they just envy the drive and the willingness you have. And I'm speaking to you because I know at least one person can understand and relate what I'm saying. If it's not you, keep on watching or keep on scrolling. But this is for you to understand. You have to really protect yourself. When you get those ambitions, when you see my videos or anyone's videos, and you're like, you know what, okay, I'm finally, like, I didn't think I could do anything, or I didn't, I have to wait till somebody else does it to see if the coast is clear. But now you finally have that drive. If that is you, I'm so happy. I truly am, because I sing, I do so much, and I share the things that I enjoy. You're not gonna find me preaching on here. This ain't gonna do it. So I'm just gonna do what I do. But if I can do a little bit of help, that I just, it fills me with joy to see people do the things that are unique to them, And if that's you, please protect yourself. There are people in your life that will cheer you on and know how to do that properly, where they can give you whatever advice you might need but still help push you forward. And then you'll have people you have to avoid that are like, oh, you trying to do that? Oh, you sure? I don't know. Like, I mean, I was gonna try to do that, but I don't know. Just really, really be aware of that, because that's real. That's real. That's real. It from your mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, friend group chats, whatever you are in or deal with. Please, being excited is perfectly fine, but you have to be alert. You please be socially aware of that, and understand God has given you a creativity that I can never duplicate, even if I tried. I could copy you, but you just can't do the original. You can't be like the original, and that's what makes it so beautiful when people are authentically themselves. Being inspired by others, and you've heard me say this before, being inspired by others is very nice, but nobody can do you like you can, and God designed it that way. I hope you get that, because it's so common. I talked to my sister about this many times. Her and I have conversations, and I said, sis, why is it so, I guess we were raised like this, but so many people, they go beyond inspiration. It's almost like you can look at a person and look at them, and it's the same thing. And the reason why we have these conversations is because we take so much pride in the fact that we have learned how to be individuals growing up. We learned that when people are calling you strange and calling you weird and saying, why don't you do this and why aren't you like that? That's because there's something that shines about you that they don't see in themselves. And the irony is, all you're doing is being who you are. So I want to drive this home with you. Please, if you're on this journey of inspiration and ambition, and you're writing down goals and you're creating ideas that are brewing, please pray and move forward. But be very careful and protect your creativity, protect your goals, protect your excitement, because you deserve to be excited. And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. I've made mistakes, but here am I. Here I am. Here I am, So, and I will make mistakes. I'm not a prophet, but I know that I am, because that's the life. You're going to make mistakes, and the journey is so needed. So please take something from what I told you, and I hope that this helps. And comment down below if you find that you can relate. This is life, and this video may not be so grand. I just recorded this in one sitting, but I hope it did something for you. So if you know how to pray, or if you even remember my little name, Elijah, I hope that you would remember me in your prayers, because it's not easy to push yourself, and you will find yourself doing that more. You will find yourself pushing yourself and just going to God, and then pushing yourself, and going to God. You got people that will come along and push you as well, and just help move you forward, which is, you have to really be appreciative for those people. But if you don't do it, no one will. Okay? So I'm so proud of you that you've done what you have done, if it's anything good. And I hope that you move forward and continue. Okay? So thank you for listening. Bye.